Dzień dobry, witam bardzo serdecznie, a to jest pewnie ostatni epizod z gry Kingdom Come Deliverance. Mam porozmawiać z panem Dziwiszem, kiedy będę gotowy. Jestem gotowy, jakby urodziłem się gotowy. A, tu jesteś, dobra. Idziemy. Więc podejrzewam, że to jest ostatni epizod, po prostu będziemy musieli załatwić Tamberg, zniszczyć co tam popadło, co powiedzieć trzeba, żeby zdobyć do środka i uratować naszego ojca i uratować panią... Jak ona się nazywała? Zapomniałem. Mieliśmy romans z nią, tak powiedział. Jakby ktoś chciał zobaczyć scenę seksu, to jakby... My zmieniliśmy z nią, no. Mieliśmy. Co jak mieliśmy z Teresą, więc jakby chyba wszystkich, co się dało puknąć, to puknęliśmy, nie? To mi się przynajmniej wydaje, nie wiem. Ty Dziwisz, co ty robisz w tym miejscu akurat?
I'm glad you came.
At your service, sir.
I'm about to give the order to bomb. And since it's mainly thanks to you that we still have a trebuchet, I think you should have the honor of the first shot.
O tak!
I'll be delighted.
To smash my castle? I can't say I share your enthusiasm.
Sorry, sir. I didn't mean it like...
There's nothing to it. The men will load the treb. All you have to do is pull the lever.
Well, I suppose I could manage that.
Then we'll bombard Talmberg for several days. Sir Robard will explain. Good luck.
Dobrze? Nie wiem, co on tu robił, ale... Będę odpalał trebusz! Zajebiście, zawsze chciałem odpalać trebusz. Nie. To naprawdę nigdy nie myślałem o odpalaniu trebusza, ale... I guess. Kurwa! O! Po co tam wskakiwałem? Jaki zajmie, kurde, skoczek narciarski. A tu akurat powinienem skoczyć, no. Kurwa, te jebane krzaki. Jezusie. Jak jeszcze raz będę rozmawiał z kimś, kto mi powie, że ta gra nie jest pobagowana, albo że ta gra jest dopracowana, to ja pierdolę, ty. Każdy krzak cię blokuje. Każdy. O, masakra.
Load the trebuchet!
Dobra, strzelam. Rzeczywiście naciągają to, ty. Fajny detal. Biedny zamek. Dobra, i teraz jak mam tą wajchę kliknąć? Jakby co? A on dopiero tą kulę tu ładuje? Tu jest kula. Tu jest już kula. Tu idziesz drugą kulą, przecież to nie ma sensu. A propos bugów, nie? Okej. Pierdol mu!
𝗞𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗆 said...
Sir,
Sir 𝗞𝗵𝗵𝗴𝗆 said you tell me what happens next.
we're going to watch
That's all.
for a few days at least. So if you have anything to attend to, God be with you.
There was precious little in it, and we...
That's how it goes in war.
Well, they're up.
Because you know just who you're up against. Take care.
Okay. I teraz co mam robić? Poczekać? Couple of days? 2 dni. Jeden dzień. Aha. Dobrze, pierwszy dzień minął. Co? Już? To nie minęły 2 dni. Ale okej.
I'm here.
Can't you see we're still bombarded?
Kurwa, no.
God be with you.
Co za gra? Okej. Okej. Już? Gdzie coś? Kurwa, jestem obżarty jak świnia, nie gorzej?
Since Sir 𝗞𝗵𝗵𝗆 is...
Just so. That Istvran's a stubborn bug.
All right. Well,
There's no reason to wait. Are you really ready? You won't have enough...
I'm ready.
Glad to hear it. We're going to attack on 2 fronts. The north gate and the west wall, which will scale with ladders. The attack will be split into different stages. Taking the outer walls, the inner bailey, and finally the core of the castle and the tower.
I think I've...
Do you want to join the attack on the walls or on the gate? Remember, many of the Skalitz men will follow you. It could make a big difference.
I'll help with the attack on the walls.
I'm proud of you, Henry. You've changed from an insolent pup into a tough, reliable fighter. And as God is my witness, we will kick those whore sons' arses.
A village lad and an old soldier.
If he's not shaking, then he doesn't know what he's got coming. Just one last thing, though. No matter how good the plan is, keep your eyes open and take advantage of every chance. Help your comrades, and don't go rushing in where you're outnumbered. We have to take the castle gradually, one position after another.
I'll remember that.
Good luck to you, stripling.
Good luck to you.
See you later.
Ej, stara wrzystra mu wrzuciła. Dlaczego? Nie szczaiłem się. Dlaczego? Nie rozumiem. A, to jest filmik, kurwa. On pewnie tutaj zawsze tą samą fryzurę. Nieważne. Charge! Okay. Atak! Nie jestem w najlepszej formie. Dlaczego? Aby są obżarty? Możliwe. Dobra, wbijam się tam. To wbijam się pierwszy, nie wiem, to pojebany pomysł. Okej, będzie przejebane, fuck. Co ja to sobie robię? Dlaczego się wpierdalam pierwszy? What? Jestem złym przywódcą. Jestem martwym przywódcą, tak by the way. Kurwa, dlaczego nie mam miecza żadnego wybranego? What the fuck? Co ja robię? Kurwa, wyjmij to! O, dobra.
Smash them! Clear those battle mats!
Dobrze. Dobrze.
Smash them! Clear those battle mats!
Łamać czaszek. Okay.
We've got them! And now from the south! We'll charge them from the rear!
No swoją jebnąłem w głowę, ale to chyba nie ma znaczenia, bo chyba swoim mniej chyba zadaje obrażeń. Dlaczego oni się biją rękami? Nie czaję. Na terenie prywatnym. Domyślam się. What the fuck? Gdzie oni znikli? Tutaj. Myślicie, że poszli na dół? Chyba? No i nie wiem. Chyba nie, bo tu nic nie ma. Tak, zgubiłem moich kompanów. Oj, Henryk. Coś cię urośnie. Dobra, tędy. A, i tędy, dobra. Okej, gitówka. Mam jakiś tutaj tryb spowolnienia czasu albo coś, żebym mógł to odpalić? Chyba nie było czegoś takiego. Dobra, dawaj ten. Ale tam ich po plerach. Ale ten ma dobrą zbroję. Gin! Jesteś jakimś kurwa cieniasem, no toż gin. No, właśnie. O fuck. Dobrze mnie tutaj przyblokowali, ale... Chcę stąd spierdalać. Nie wiem, czy ja coś im zadaje za obrażenia w ogóle. Okay. To są naprawdę twardzi. Dobrze. Dało się? No nie gadajcie, że się udało. Ale jazda, panie! Och, rzeźnia. W talberku o poranku. Pray the sun. Tak się cieszą.
Sir, we should give the order.
Let's see if 𝗚𝗺𝗏 can worm his way out of this one.
Don't tempt fate, Hanash.
𝗚𝗺𝗏! It's over! You want us to come and get you?
I wouldn't advise that. Your friend Divish wants to see his wife alive again.
And Sir Radzig? Are both hostages unharmed?
For now, Hanush, unless circumstances change.
I'm glad to hear it. My guest is also safe and sound, but he's also quite keen to go home. I imagine you feel the same way. It's been a long time since you warmed yourself at your own hearth.
I'm in no hurry. I've plenty of supplies here, grand view and excellent company. What more could I want?
Your freedom!
Freedom? Freedom to get an arrow in the back?
Sir, we are all noblemen here, all bound by honor. I give you my word as a knight and lord, and that of my companions. If you release Lady Stephanie and Sir Radzig, you may leave the castle with your men and go on your way unharmed.
And just how far will we get? What good will it do me if your men attack us in the woods instead of here?
If you give me your word of honor that you will leave and never return, I promise you safe passage to the boundary of this fiefdom. What happens after that is up to you and the will of God Almighty.
Very well then, but I want a small safeguard. I'll give you her ladyship, but Radzig comes with me. I'll release him in Skalitz.
Out of the question! Is our word not good enough for you?
Is mine not good enough for you? I swear I'll release him when I get to a safe distance.
I'll go with him, Hanush. Let the Lady Stephanie have her freedom now.
Father!
Don't worry, son. I trust Lord Toth's self-interest more than his word. He wouldn't be fool enough to harm me.
If you're certain, Radzig.
Prepare horses and supplies, and tell your men to pull back. We'll come down.
You heard him. Get to work. And any man who breaks his truce answers to me.
So, are you really going to let them go?
My word is my bond, Henry.
He's a cutthroat and a liar. Good men are dead because of him. What's to stop us from skewering him as soon as he sets foot outside?
Our honor.
If you let him go, he'll do the same again. Or worse.
God's justice will find him. And then he'll get a taste of my mace.
If we break our word of honor, we have none. And without honor, we are nothing. Never fear. Your father will be all right.
We'll hunt down those vermin yet.
Bring the horses.
Here she is, as I promised. Not a hair on her head harmed.
Divish,
Stephanie.
forgive me, husband. I'm sorry
For what?
for letting them into the castle.
Come now, my dear. You're not to blame.
I didn't know who he was. He said he was your friend.
Never mind. Did he hurt you?
No.
I hope your word can be trusted.
Certainly more than yours.
If everything goes as agreed, I'll set Radzig free in Skalitz. If anyone tries to follow us, I'll kill him.
We won't.
My apologies for keeping you from your father, but you'll see each other soon enough. Oh, I almost forgot. Your sword. I expect you'll want it back after all the trouble you went to. Actually, you know what? I think I'll keep it. As a memento.
This isn't over. I'll find you.
I look forward to it. Yeah!
Całą grę ten miecz go kurwa szukamy, no ja pierdolę, dajcie mi ten miecz. Kurwa.
Quick! To the battlements! We have to see which way they go! Oh, they really are heading for Skalitz. Mount up, Henry. You've heard what he'll do if we follow them. We're not going to follow them. We just have to collect your father. Or do you want him to walk back here when they release him?
Dawać! Ej, chwila. Dokąd mnie to prowadzi? What the fuck? Co to jest za znak? Co to jest? Gdzie on jest? Się odpierdala, dlaczego ten? To jest, patrz. Jakoś dziwacznie jedzie. Jakiegoś konia uzbrojonego, ja mam takiego golasa.
Not long ago, I only made plans 3 days ahead at most. Maybe I really could do something for Rattay and its people. Something really big. But there'll be plenty of time for that later. This is quite a turnaround, isn't it?
What do you mean?
How long have we known each other? A few weeks?
Something like that.
Before that, I was chasing wenches around Rattay and you were digging turnips. And now look at us. A pair of veterans.
I was an apprentice blacksmith, not a turnip.
Same difference, you silly bugger.
Jeden czort. Tam jesteś jeden czort.
What should I say to him?
Don't worry, it'll come to you. You'll see.
Well, I just hope he'll be there. Alive.
There's no sign of them. Move on. There! I'm glad to see Istvan kept his word, sir.
Not half as glad as I am, Your Grace.
Well, we kept our word too. And now Toth has had his head start and he's fair game. Which way do they go?
To the north, but I would be careful, Sir Hans.
Fear not, Your Grace. I have twice as many men as he. Well, I won't keep you any longer. I'm sure the two of you have a lot to say to each other. Let's go!
You all right, Father?
I am. They treated me quite decently. Although they did steal my horse, so I'll have to go back on foot.
It looks like it's all over.
Not by a long shot. It won't be over until we get this mess cleared up.
And catch that bastard. How could we let him go?
Would you rather we killed him? Even if it meant Lady Stephanie and I died too?
No, of course not. But what was to stop us from killing him after the exchange?
Honor?
Honor?
If the word of honor of a nobleman could not be trusted, then he would never have agreed to the exchange.
And where's the honor in abandoning your son?
You know how it is. We were young. It happened. And I couldn't marry a commoner. Then your father, Martin, came along and took care of both of you.
Well, he knew it.
What? That I was your father? Certainly. He was a great man. He took you as his own. And always kept an eye on you. Of that you can be sure.
I know so little about his past.
He told you nothing? Oddly enough, even though you don't have his blood, you're very like him. When he was around your age, he became bored of his trade and set out to see the world. He lived through many adventures, even fought in a war.
In a war?
Yes, in Poland, I believe.
What in
and I
Poland?
don't care
What?
for it.
Polaków napierdalał, tak? Czy pomagał Polakom?
He spent some time in Prague,
Jeżeli napierdalał Polaków, to wyjebujemy tę grę, no co?
but it seems he quarreled with
No
someone.
sorry.
and finally
Jeżeli to oglądacie za 2 dni, znikną te odcinki, jebać to.
I loved him, but even so, I somehow always had a feeling I didn't quite fit in.
It was in your blood, I suppose.
That's racist.
I lost the one thing I had left from him. Your sword.
Ah, the sword. It's not my sword. It's yours. For a moment there, it was so near, yet so far. Oh, well, it can't be helped.
It was almost within my grasp, but just then I had something else on my mind.
Well, I think we may yet have a chance to get it back. This business with Toth is not yet over, unfortunately.
That's a chance I'd welcome. Not just to get the sword, but that bastard Istvan too. And then I'll find that German whoreson who torched Skalitz, and I'll slay him with it. I'll never forget his face. Or his name. 𝗚𝗵𝗴𝗴𝗆 von Aulitz.
Those are noble intentions, son. But don't forget there are other things in this world that are worth living for.
Like what?
Look around you. Blue skies overhead, green grass underfoot, beautiful girls. Good wine, a few good friends, and a fine steed under your backside. Those are things worth living for. Though I can't deny that swine who killed your mother must pay for what he did. But it's better not to dwell too much on that at the cost of those other things. On the subject of steeds, I think we'll have to ride like the Knights Templar.
How's that?
2 up. One day I'll tell you how they got their seal. You can take the front. It's like I always imagined it would be, teaching my boy to ride. Although it would be better if you were a little smaller. My word, it's all go today, isn't it? I wonder who this is.
I think I know. It's 𝗚𝗵𝗴𝗆𝗆.
The king's cousin? I wonder what he wants. I guess we'll find out soon enough.
Tak jest! Udało się. Warhouse Studios. Dziękuję bardzo za stworzenie tej gierki, bo bawiłem się niesamowicie. I dziękuję wszystkim twórcom, którzy gdzieś tam pracowali przy tej grze. Ci, którzy tę grę dokończyli, ci, którzy gdzieś tam po drodze się wykruszyli. Różne są, jakby to powiedzieć, różne są takie dzieje życia, że możliwe, że nie dokończyliście pewnych swoich rzeczy, ale ważne, że zaczęliście. Ważne, że uczestniczyliście, bo stworzyliście kawał dobrego dzieła. Pobagowanego, często wkurwiającego, ale interesującego. To na pewno.
You're doing well, son.
What the fuck is going on?
Father.
Przyszedł, patrz.
Come now. You know who sired you.
That doesn't matter now. I miss you, Emma. I miss you very much.
You'll be fine. We're proud of you.
For what? I let you down. I lost the sword. I let that bastard get away.
Don't be so hard on yourself. There was nothing you could have done to save us. And someone has to live and carry the torch. As for the sword, it's just a thing.
You didn't want me fighting. Now look at me.
Standing up to evil isn't the same as sowing its seeds. You did what was right. I have to leave you now.
Oh, please.
You know I can't stay.
Will I ever see you again?
God knows. Make her proud.
Don't go.
Oh, don't go. No.
What on earth?
Ej, Henryk, obudź się, zesrałeś się.
I couldn't wake you, and it's well past dawn. Sir Radzig wants you at the upper castle. The lords are in council with 𝗏𝗆𝗆.
Right. I'll go straight away.
Kurwa, obudził się jak ten, jak pierwszej nocy na początku gry.
What is it?
It's just... I don't know how to address you anymore. All of a sudden you're Sir Radzig's son, hobnobbing with lords and ladies. And here's me, as common as muck.
Oh, give over, you idiot. Do I look like a lord to you?
Not really. You're as much a lord as I am a nun. And I've never looked good in a habit.
Get out of here! Or I'll have you clapped in the stocks.
Tereska, obudziłaś się? Jest tu z Tereska, jak myślicie? Jesteście na terenie prywatnym. No podobno to jest mój teren teraz. To fakt już. Słowo honoru wykonane. No dobra. Gdzie on może być? Gdzie oni mogą być? Oczywiście, że po drugiej stronie, bo dlaczego mieli być po tej stronie? No, działamy.
Are you going to the meeting with Margrave 𝗏𝗆𝗆 as well?
I am. What about Istvan? I assume...
That we didn't catch him? No. Because if we had, you'd be the first one to know. Have no fear. We'll get him eventually.
I hope you're right. Anyway, let's go and see what 𝗏𝗆𝗆 wants from us.
My lords, Christ's blessings on you all.
And on you, Lord 𝗏𝗵𝗆.
And this is my son, Henry.
I didn't know you had a son, Sir Radzig.
It came as a bit of a surprise to young Henry, too.
This gentleman here is John II of Liechtenstein, a member of my council.
I'm honored, gentlemen.
Come join us. Margrave 𝗏𝗆𝗆 was just about to tell us the reason for his visit. Your Grace?
I'm sure we're all agreed, Your Graces, that all this unrest must come to an end. This kingdom needs a king.
The question is, which king?
My cousin, Wenceslas IV, who is being held in captivity.
I have to confess, my lord, that your answer surprises me a little. If I'm correctly informed, until recently you sided with your other cousin, Sigismund.
That I cannot deny, and I have always stated my position plainly. But times have changed.
How have they changed, Your Grace?
Sir, there is one thing on which we undoubtedly concur, that King Wenceslas, unfortunately, did not inherit his father's gift for governing. Sadly, his failures have cost Bohemia, the nobles, and our whole Luxembourg family a great deal of money and effort.
How did the king let it go so far, damn it?
It's in his temperament. He cares only for wine, women, and the hunt. A king, in fact, who never wanted to be king.
Then why didn't he just let his brother have the crown?
Young sir, the crown weighs heavy when there are duties to be performed, but to surrender it means giving up great privileges too.
But he did surrender power to his brother. When things started getting out of hand, Wenceslas appealed to Sigismund for help in restoring order.
What, you're saying Wenceslas invited him here?
This is starting to make my head spin.
Actually, it makes sense when you think about it. Sigismund wanted to re-establish the power of the whole House of Luxembourg. He thought if he helped Wenceslas win the imperial crown, in return his brother would help him become the king of the Romans, and leave the actual reign of Bohemia and the empire to him. Sigismund would govern, while Wenceslas could carry on doing what he was best at, enjoying the life of the imperial court.
Why wasn't Wenceslas crowned Holy Roman Emperor long ago? He was already elected king of the Romans. All he had to do was go and let the Pope put the damn imperial crown on his head.
Who knows? Maybe he'd prefer hunting and consorting with bathhouse wenches to spending time with the Pope.
Well, so would I must admit.
Sigismund's plan seemed sound enough, but it didn't quite work out, did it?
It worked for a while. He and his brother reached an agreement. Sigismund took over administration of the kingdom and began planning Wenceslas's journey to Rome for the imperial coronation. But then Wenceslas realized he would just be a puppet with a crown.
I must say, Margrave Jobst, Wenceslas and Prokop behave rather like naughty children in need of a good clout about the ears.
Sigismund would agree. He was already planning his rule of Bohemia, and all of a sudden, the rug was pulled from under him. I'd say he lost his patience and decided he'd drag Wenceslas to the coronation kicking and screaming if he had to. Just like a naughty child, as you say.
So he abducted him and your brother Prokop too, if I heard correctly.
Correct.
And you helped him do it, if I heard correctly.
Yes, your graces, it's true. I was there when Sigismund abducted Prokop. I thought everything could somehow be settled, that we could make my brother see sense. But Sigismund just wanted to put an end to the dispute once and for all, whatever the cost. There was nothing I could do to stop him. And that's one of the reasons why I'm here. The worst of it is that it was all for nothing. Instead of putting a stop to the revolt, it escalated it, and the result is this chaos we have today.
That's true enough, sir. But I must admit now, I'm not sure what your position is. The king is incompetent, but we must protect him?
The simple truth, gentlemen, is that for all of Wenceslas's faults, we have no one else.
So we'll have to make do with his idleness.
People like him, though.
But what can we do now? Sigismund has the League of Lords behind him. Otto von Bergholf, Heinrich von Rosenberg.
The situation has gotten completely out of control. Now even the nobles of the League of Lords are realizing that Sigismund wasn't the right choice.
So now Bergholf is on your side. Are we to assemble an army together with him and face Sigismund on the field of battle?
We're not in Hungary now. Such affairs may be settled elegantly, without unnecessary hostilities or expenses. I have negotiated an alliance with the Hungarian bishops, the Polish, and
Polish!
the Czech nobility.
Polacy, Polska górą, ciężko staria. Woo!
Every day he is losing the ground under his feet, and that's why I need your help too.
What kind of help, though? Sigismund has a massive army, and Rosenberg, Berghof, and Prague are behind him. Do you have an army you could face him with?
But that's not what I mean at all. There's been a revolt against Sigismund in Hungary, partly due to my efforts, and now he'll have to choose whether he wants to gain the Bohemian crown, which is a very risky enterprise, or hold on to the Hungarian one. He can't have both. And there's a tough struggle awaiting him in Hungary. I'm not sure he'll win, and Rosenberg and Berghof know it too. They're not stupid. If the Bohemian nobility stands together, they will turn.
We are men of little consequence, Margrave. Radzig here lost everything because of his alliance with Wenceslas. Sir Divish came within a hair of the same fate. Even Rattay is defenseless against Sigismund and the League of Lords.
What's more, your grace, King Wenceslas languishes in captivity in Vienna. He can't rule too well from there.
And what do you propose? To sit with your arms folded till the Bohemian lands are turned to ashes like Skalitz? We have to put a stop to this senseless war.
And do you know, sir, what the true position of the League of Lords is?
I'm not on the best of terms with them at this moment, so you'll have to ask them yourselves.
Yes. Why not? I'll go and visit 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 at his castle and we'll see what he tells me.
You know, that's not such a bad idea, young sir.
True. Though a little risky.
I doubt 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 would harm a blue-blooded envoy. And you can find out what he has to say about developments and what the League of Lords is planning. Then we'll decide what to do next.
I'll help you compose a letter to him.
I'd like Henry to come with me.
Why not? He's proven himself an able investigator, and he'll also be a good bodyguard if anything should happen.
And I'll send Sir John here to 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 to be my eyes and ears there. I believe both your reports will help us get a better grip on the situation.
When can you set out?
Ja nie rozumiem, czy to jest miejsce na DLC, czy to jest miejsce na drugą część?
𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 and I will draft a letter. Get ready?
To wyszło jakieś DLC. Ale to było chyba DLC o tym, żeby naprawić jakąś wioskę albo jakieś miasto tu zbudować. Rozmawiać ze swoim ojcem.
So, it looks like you're off on a mission.
Yes, I can't wait.
I don't want to dampen your spirits, my boy, but watch out. These are evil times, and who knows what can happen along the way. Not to mention that 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 is no saint.
Don't worry.
I know. You've shown you can fend for yourself, but do take care. You'll be traveling as Lord Capon's bodyguard. You'll be there to make sure nothing untoward happens to him. Keep your eyes peeled and your ears wide open. What 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 tells you is one thing, but what you see may be quite another.
Rest assured, Father.
And don't get embroiled in anything else. Just hand over the letter, hear out his reply, and return.
Yes.
Very well. 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏 is at Trotsky Castle. I think you'll find it quite an eye-opener. It's one of the finest castles in the land. It's 3 days' ride from here, so unless you hit a snag along the way, you'll be back soon enough. Any questions?
That's about all.
Very well. Take the...
Okej, biorę.
So what do you think of it all, Sir 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏?
I think I don't know.
That makes two of us.
I believe we have written it well, gentlemen.
Without a doubt. No one could deduce from this whether we are Sigismund's allies or foes.
I must travel back to Brno now, but soon I will go to Brandenburg and I will stop here on the way back. By then, Sir Capon should be back and we can discuss how to proceed.
Right. Before you leave, my lord, there is one thing that gives me no rest. Why did Sigismund come as a foe? It makes no sense.
If I may, sir, I think I can explain.
Oh, please enlighten us, young sir.
I live not far from Hungary, where Sigismund reigns. It is a savage country, and the constant war with the Turks has hardened the people. They need a monarch with an iron hand. So when Sigismund felt the wind of revolt, he reacted as he would at home. Only what works on the Hungarian nobles does not work here in Bohemia.
Bringing order is one thing, but slaughtering and pillaging with a horde of barbarians quite another. What purpose does that serve?
But Sigismund did give the Bohemian nobles a chance to take his side. It was only when they refused his ultimatum that he lost patience and
No nieźle.
sword.
As for the barbarians, he could afford nothing better. The Hungarian nobility would gain nothing from joining his campaign in Bohemia. He didn't have enough coin for a regular army, and so he recruited the Cumans. What he does not pay them, they make up for in plunder.
But in the end, he didn't have enough to even satisfy the Cumans. That's why he raided 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗏𝗏 and Skalitz. He wanted the silver.
That makes sense.
No nieźle.
My lords, how's the letter coming along?
It's done.
Then we can be on our way.
Now remember what we said, boy. All you have to do is deliver the letter, Listen to the answer and come back here. Don't provoke Berghoff in any way.
Provoke? Me? Never, Uncle. We'll be back in a few days. Farewell, your graces. Come, Henry, my men are waiting.
I wish you Godspeed.
No, Hal.
Okej. Jak wyjeżdżając poza mapę? Jak mam wjechać poza mapę? Mam tam wyjechać po prostu? Dobra. Z nim zobaczymy. Może on mnie trochę zaprowadzi.
Ha! What the?
What the? No elo. Nie, bo się zaraz zablokuje. Nazwał mnie idiotą właśnie, 𝗞𝗶𝗴𝗴𝗆. Ruszamy?
Yeah. So, can we say... Of course. So, to horse!
On coś będzie mówił albo coś? Kurwa, podróżowanie na koniu, masakra. To tutaj po co wymyślił? Co będzie tak jechać sobie? Gdzie? Jesteśmy daleko krawędzi? Trochę się zostało. No i ten w ogóle da się wyjechać.
How is life as a highborn bastard? I'm getting used to it. What about Rodsey? Has he accounted for not owning up to you the whole time?
He explained it. All will be well, I think.
Glad to hear it. It's far more acceptable for a nobleman to befriend a noble bastard than a blacksmith's son.
Mind you, don't come to blows with a blacksmith, my young lord.
Ah! Watch where you're going. You nearly killed me.
You nearly killed me.
Well, I admit all the scheming has me a little lost. I thought Sigismund was the devil, Wenceslas a martyr, those on his side the heroes, and those against him the villains. I believed we'd rescue the king and all would be well again. But now it looks a lot more complicated.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't expect the noble lords to be as noble as the angels, but I hadn't expected such a sewer. They behave like children.
I can't fathom how after all this backstabbing they're somehow still on speaking terms.
I don't know either. Beggars believe.
Tak, wcale wy też się nie kłóciliście na początku i też nie biliście się o łuk, i też nie biliście się o miecz, też się nie biliście o dużo więcej królików zabić.
King Wenceslas is such a
Feckless drunkard. Not really. And to be honest, I'm not
Zabawne. Fajnie twórcy prowadzą tą narrację. Podoba mi się to, jak dużo można wyciągnąć. Nie wiem jak historycznie, bo ja o historii nie mam pojęcia w ogóle co się dzieje, nie? Ale jeżeli chodzi o takie społeczne rzeczy, psychologiczne rzeczy, to jest bardzo fajnie rozbudowana fabuła, że tłumaczy ci krok po kroku, jak ci bohaterowie się zmieniają i to, że nie ma czegoś jak dobro i zło, nie ma czegoś tak jak bohaterowie i złoczyńcy, tylko wszystko jest podzielone na jakichś takich dziwnych segmentach.
If I were him, I'd have had enough of my brother even sooner. But he's a monster. True enough. On the other hand, if Wenceslas and Prokop hadn't double crossed him, none of this would have happened.
No one forced him to burn Skalitz.
That's a fact. But he couldn't let them shit all over him either. Not that I'm defending him.
He's a weasel.
No doubt about that.
To my, Henryk i pan Ptaszek będziemy nowymi królami tego terenu. Kto wie, może w drugiej części będziemy właśnie nimi. Właśnie nie wiem, czy planują drugą część. Chyba nie za bardzo, co? To była droga inwestycja i chyba niezbyt się tak dobrze sprzedała, jak się zapowiadało. Na pewno jest wyjątkową grą. Trochę mi się kojarzy z Mount & Blade, ale to jest inny tytuł. Jest dużo trudniejszy. W sensie, gdyby nie to, że sobie ułatwiłem grę, to prawdopodobnie męczyłbym się dłużej i być może nawet nie przeszedłbym tej gry. To sejwowanie tylko przy sznapsach, no kurwa, no to jest tak po prostu denerwujące. To rozdawanie punktów, te expienie, to zajęłoby dziesiątki godzin. Nie wiem, z 35-40 godzin nam zajęło przejście teraz, a podobno tyle miało przejść tak normalnie, bez żadnych wspomagaczy. Ja nie wiem, kto w 40 godzin, to bym trzeba przebiec tę grę chyba. Albo wszystkich zabić po prostu.
A little. He can't manage even to wrest power from a king who doesn't much care for ruling and isn't fighting back. That doesn't seem like a man who has what it takes to rule. And that's all I need to know.
And that Berghoff we're going to see, do you know anything about him?
I haven't heard much good about him, but I have a feeling that some other nobles are quite in awe of him. And his castle is apparently quite impressive. I'll be interested to see for myself.
And what about the League of Lords?
Wealthy, pompous. The king doesn't seem to like them much. He's chosen to let the lesser ranks of the nobility into his circle, men like your father. I admit I don't blame him one bit. But the lords weren't happy about their lost influence, so they put their foot down. If I were Wenceslas, I'd have let them hang after they abducted me the first time. But he gave them seats at the provincial council? Little wonder they're back at their old tricks.
Więc ta gra będzie teraz polegała do końca, aż wyjedziemy stąd. Będzie polegała na tym, że po prostu gadamy, tak? Okej. To już nie gadacie, ziomeczki? No cóż, może wykorzystam ten moment, żeby trochę pogadać na temat tego, jak mi się ta gierka podobała. I powiem wam szczerze, że bawiłem się bardzo dobrze, w sensie nie będę kłamał, podobała mi się ta gra, w sensie podobało mi się to od początku, zanim zacząłem grać, podobał mi się pomysł na grę, na otwarty świat, te takie niektóre wkurwiające mechaniki, jak to, że jesteś Henrykiem, to żeby wyjść z tego pierwszego miasta, nie pamiętam, gdzie my byliśmy. Chyba myśmy wtedy w Ratajach, czy... Chyba w Ratajach wtedy, czekaj, to pewnie było gdzieś tutaj, więc pewnie w Telberku właśnie byliśmy. W Telberku pewnie wtedy byliśmy, tak mi się wydaje. I stamtąd mieliśmy uciec. Mimo, że nasz ojciec nam zabronił, wtedy jeszcze nie ojciec, tylko dalej był ojciec, ale my nie wiedzieliśmy o tym. Mimo, że on powiedział, że mamy tego nie robić, nie? I fajne było to, że udało się wyjść na kilka sposobów. Udało się pomóc, pogadać z tą babką, która nam pomogła znaleźć zbroję i uciec po prostu. Mogliśmy po prostu wyskoczyć przez most i wypierdalać stamtąd biegiem. Mogliśmy po prostu, nie wiem, przebiec obok albo wkurwić kogoś. Fajne to było, podobało mi się to. Podoba mi się fabuła, fajnie się bawię przy tym. Dialogi są ciekawe, lore interesujące. Nie było żadnych takich głupot z pokroju jakieś seksistowskie, niepotrzebne komentarze. Raczej jest ten szacunek dla kogoś zachowany. To jest fajne, bo to mogło być dobre ujście, że powiedzieć, no możemy być seksistowscy, przecież takie czasy, nie? Były takie przytyki związane z tymi, że kobiety są i tak inaczej traktowane. Były takie przytyki, że chłopstwo jest tak, a nie inaczej traktowane, ale nie było to tak ostentacyjne. To było takie, tak właśnie było. Nie zgadzamy się z tym, ale tak było. No co zrobisz, nie? I to mi się podobało, to akceptowałem. Co jeszcze? Jeżeli chodzi graficznie, to gra jest bardzo słabo zoptymalizowana. W sensie nie mogłem odpalić maksymalnych detali, to jest żart po prostu. Mam jeden z mocniejszych komputerów, jakie kiedykolwiek mogłoby się mieć, więc jak robiłem benchmark, to tylko 1,5% komputerów jest mocniejszy ode mnie, jeżeli chodzi o tą platformę, w której testowałem, więc podejrzewam, że to jest bardzo mocna konfiguracja i wciąż nie mogę łączyć maksymalnych detali w 2K 60 fps, to jest żałosne, to jest słabe. Jeżeli chodzi o mechaniki gameplayowe, to one działają, chociaż według mnie są zbyt przekombinowane i trudne. System walki jest całkowicie dla mnie niezrozumiały, ale to może wynika z tego, że nie skupiłem się na nim dość dobrze. Czy może, nie wiem. Ale dla mnie to było przekombinowane, mi się to nie spodobało, chociaż pewnie wielu jest fanów, więc nie mam do tego problemu, ponieważ ja mogłem sobie to ułatwić poprzez zwiększenie ilości expo, które dostaję, a czy wszyscy ci, którzy chcą się męczyć z tą grą i z Friday to Friday, mogą się po prostu pomęczyć, to też jest okej, nie? Więc Wilk City i owca cała, więc jak najbardziej się zgadzam z tym. Jest gra bardzo pobagowana i dzieją się dziwne rzeczy, krzaki cię wciągają, nie chcą połknąć, nie można przejeżdżać. Jesus Christ, bohaterowie znikają, pojawiają się. Niektóre dialogi można zrobić, niektóre nie można zrobić. Chciałbym zobaczyć drugą część tej gry i chciałbym, żeby ta gra po prostu popłynęła trochę bardziej takim dopracowanym nurtem, a jednocześnie nie pozwoliła sobie wbić się do typowej gry A i dalej pozostała taką, jaką jest. Wydaje mi się, że tylko wystarczy nam tego życzyć. Też samo to, że ta gra wyszła, to już jest kawał osiągnięcia.
Of course. At last I'll get to see more of the country and have a bit of an outing.
Quite.
Koniec, achievement.
Let's get to it then. I finally have the feeling we're doing something worthwhile. We're helping to save the king.
Instead of saving his drunken majesty, I'd rather find that whoreson who murdered my parents, get the sword back from him, and skewer him with it.
Cheer up, Henry. I have a feeling you'll get your chance one day, and it won't be long in coming. Forward, men! Audentes fortuna juvat!
Koniec! Noise! Noise, noise, noise. Okej, chodzi o to, że udało się. Dobra, wyłączamy grę. Ile nam zajęło przejście? Już patrzę. 36 godzin. 3,1 według Steama. Więc dziękuję wszystkim za obecność. Jedną rzecz jeszcze chciałem zobaczyć. Zrobiłem 18 achievementów na 82. Holy shit. Dziękuję bardzo wszystkim za obecność. Dziękuję za oglądanie tej serii w moim wykonaniu i zapraszam Was na inne serie na moim kanale. Do usłyszenia. Siemanko. No i cześć!